Senator Dianne Feinstein's handling of Christine Blasey Ford's allegations has been an utter disgrace. Now, explosive new information on Ford has caused Feinstein to freak out. The FBI could soon discover the sick secret that the Democrats, the leftist professor, and her attorneys have kept hidden all along. Well, Trump made Feinstein regret trying to influence the FBI, as the sick secret gets exposed. Well, the Democrats are already proving why this week-long FBI investigation into Brett Kavanaugh is not going to be enough for them. This past weekend, the new narrative by the usual suspects, including crazy Senator Mazie Hirono and disgraced fired former FBI Director James Comey, is that there should be no time limits nor any limits on the scope of what allegations the FBI can investigate, stall, delay, and resist until the midterms is the Democrats' plan. And the one person who really has no business in making demands on this FBI investigation, Senator Dianne Feinstein, has been caught doing just that. The New York Post reports, Sen. Dianne Feinstein, the ranking Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, sent a letter to the White House counsel and the FBI director on Sunday asking for a copy of the directive issued to the FBI that lays out the scope of the investigation into Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Given the seriousness of the allegations before the Senate, I am writing to request that you provide the Senate Judiciary Committee with a copy of the written directive sent by the White House to the FBI. The California Democrats' letter to counsel Don Gunn and Director Christopher Wray says. In addition, if the FBI requests any expansion beyond the initial directive, please provide the names of any additional witnesses or evidence. The letter continued. But there's more. Feinstein is worried about who the FBI talks to, and it all points to Christine Blasey Ford's changing version of events. The Democrats working behind the scenes with Blasey Ford's attorneys, Deborah Katz, and Michael Bromwich, who are known Democratic operatives, allegedly helped alter Ford's testimony to fit the 1982 time frame. So they are worried, very worried. According to Professor Margot Cleveland, who works as a freelance journalist, Ford's therapist's notes from 2012 state Ford said the attack happened in the mid-80s, when she was in her late teens, which is why her attorneys made Ford cross out certain words from her handwritten polygraph letter, and why the Democrats are so focused on Kavanaugh's friend, Mark Judge, working at Safeway. Professor Cleveland explains the big cover-up, writing, "Let me ask you something. If a woman came forward and said that she was sexually assaulted in the summer of 1982 when she was 15 by one boy, with a second in the room egging her on, and to corroborate her claim she pointed to small portions of notes from a therapist, and those therapist notes said that she described a rape attempt in her late teens that involved 4 boys, and in her first text describing the attempted rape, the women said it happened in the mid-80s, what would you think? That the notes did not corroborate her account." Cleveland adds, "But Ford has tricked everyone into ignoring the differences in dates. 82 is not mid-80s, and age 15 is not late teens, and to assume that Ford was telling her therapist about the supposed Kavanaugh attempt. But in her handwritten note before the polygraph, she crossed out early before 80s. Why? Here's why. We can show you how the Democrats and Ford's attorneys altered her original story from late teens and mid-80s to the exact year of 1982. You see, the mid-80s and late teens would not work, as Kavanaugh, 1 year older than Ford, would be at Yale." Many wondered why the Democrats kept emphasizing Ford's testimony concerning running into Mark Judge at Safeway. Remember, Ford names Kavanaugh's friend Mark Judge as being in the room during the alleged attack, and then she oddly kept emphasizing in her testimony, 5 different times, she ran into Judge at the Safeway grocery store. 6-8 weeks after this so-called rape attempt, it was only after Ford's attorneys in doing opposition research on Kavanaugh did they discover a book written by Mark Judge, based loosely on his life. And in Judge's book, he talks about working at Safeway in the summer of 1982. Of course, the leftist media reports that Ford must be telling the truth since Judge's book backs up her new timeline. But that's not Ford's original timeline. And now we have Feinstein worried the FBI may discover those people Ford claims she told in 2017 about her sexual assault will not back up the new 1982 timeline. Remember, Ford never told a soul, not her husband nor her therapist, that this attacker was supposedly Brett Kavanaugh. It's only after she writes to Feinstein that she names Kavanaugh. Well, President Trump weighed in on the Democrats' new narrative led by Feinstein. He tweeted, "Wow, just starting to hear the Democrats, who are only thinking obstruct and delay, are starting to put out the word that the time and scope of FBI looking into Judge Kavanaugh and witnesses is not enough. Hello, for them, it will never be enough. Stay tuned and watch." Wow, just starting to hear the Democrats, who are only thinking obstruct and delay, are starting to put out the word that the time and scope of FBI looking into Judge Kavanaugh and witnesses is not enough. Hello, for them, it will never be enough. Stay tuned and watch. Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, September 30, 2018. President Donald Trump must apply maximum pressure to the GOP senators on the Judiciary Committee to stick to their guns and not give in to the Democrats' new demand that the FBI investigation must go on, and on, as those snakes conjure up new liars to accuse Kavanaugh of God knows what. The American people are rightly pissed off at this entire debacle, and if Kavanaugh isn't confirmed, I fear the backlash will be brutal. The leftist snowflakes thought 2016 was bad, but they ain't seen nothing like the righteous anger of patriotic Americans who always follow the rules and pay their taxes on time.